Welcome to another week of One Foot Drive. I'm your host, Mike Szabo, joined as always with Andy Duvall and Tony Iannone. This week, PGA Championship week preview. It's a great week, our second major of the year. We're going to go over our picks, our recap, and our standings, our world-famous playa or pretender segment. We're going to talk a little bit about how the boys did today in their Pro section event, in their U.S. Open qualifier attempt, see how that all worked. And then lastly, our fact check. So that is what we got in store for this week. But first, to help us out with PGA Championship, the preview, we're going to welcome our first guest ever. This gentleman recently won the PGA National Merchandiser of the Year award for a public category. And he did it out of a 290 square foot shed, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. That is awesome. Our PGA professional GM, Matt Adamski at Sweetens Cove. Welcome, Matt.
Appreciate boys for having me on. Love the crowd. Sound effects are fantastic. This is what I used to go. This is how I go into every day in the shed, actually. Yeah. So it feels normal.
Yeah.
Good. Just anything to make you feel at home.
Thanks for coming on, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for coming in, Matt. So Sweetens Cove, if you don't know about it, this is a sweet little spot in the world. Matt, tell us about the Cove. What's going on down there in Tennessee?
A lot of stuff. It's just a 9-hole golf course, if you're unaware. Just 9 holes, no amenities, no driving range, no clubhouse, no food and beverage for that matter. Well, we have a food truck now, but just 9 greens, world-class golf by King Collins, and just kind of changing the waves of golf is what we're doing down here. It's a lot different than your normal 9-hole golf course where you change up some tee boxes and go from there. But we've got 2 pins in each green, and that gives you kind of a world of different options for the day. So, and we have no tee times whatsoever. We kind of have created this thing called the all-day pass. So you and your buddies or you personally could come down and play golf all day there until you're blue in the face from sun up to sundown. So it's kind of different. We kind of had tee times originally. It kind of didn't work. We had an all day rate, and folks would come in at 7 a.m. even though they had a 10 a.m. tee time and be like, hey, playing all day, so can I go out now? And the answer is no, we have tee times. But so that quickly kind of got changed, and now we do this. We've got 60 people on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and only 45 people on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. And we kind of do a yearly pass release, and we did our pass release back in November of 2024 for this year in 2025, and sold out roughly every single day, every single month in about 2.5 minutes.
Oh,
wow.
That's amazing.
2.5
so you sell...
Yeah.
So you sell an entire year's worth of golf basically in a day.
Pretty much. And I would suggestively say the peak season specifically. I mean, March basically through October, January and February and November and December are kind of like the last things to go because everybody's trying to get those peak season dates. And then once those are all gone, they're like, shit, well, looks like it's January, February, or November, or December. So it's kind of what it is.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about it, which I thought was a really, really neat concept besides the all-day golf, but to make that work is like you have no rules. Is that correct? You could play 5-somes, 10-somes. You can wear what you want. I mean, is that accurate? You guys just come as you are?
100% accurate. This is, hoodie and some gym shorts is what I wear to work as a PGA professional. So we
merchandise of the year, baby.
It's a whole thing. I have the polo. It was weird. I had to go to a thing and I actually had to wear a polo. I had to find a couple. Actually, I took some out of the shed, but for all intents and purposes, we've kind of always been that way, even when we had tee times, because nobody would come play us at first when we opened up in 2014, October 17th specifically of 2014. And we just, the guys, Rob and Tad who designed it were like, dude, this is awesome. Like, people should be here, but we're in the middle of rural Tennessee. So basically they took out, I'd say 8 months later or something like that, maybe a year later, still no traffic. And they took out an ad in the Chattanoogan. It's like, hey, come with who you bring, play come out here with your buddies. You play as a fivesome, whenever. You can bring your dogs. We don't care. There's no dress code.
Really?
Just get here so you can see it. Yeah, we have dogs on the golf course too.
That's awesome.
No rabid dogs, but
yeah,
it's kind of keep it a little bit in check.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's really cool. I mean, I'm always a big proponent of like with dress code. That's big at country clubs, right? It's like if someone leaves their house and they think they look good, God bless them, let them go play golf like that, right? Sure. I mean, I know certain clubs have certain standards they want to hold to, but I was always a big believer. If you leave the house thinking you look good, own it, baby. Just do it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Sweetens, you got an expansion coming up with the popularity. What are you kind of doing with your expansion?
Yeah, so we just got some new partners, and the Reef Capital is what it is. So Reef has kind of started to partner with people, buy a lot of golf courses, etc. You probably don't know that name yet, but you will soon. One of which they just had an LPGA tournament I guess it's 2 weeks ago. I was down there over in St. George, Utah at Black Desert.
Mm-hmm.
They hosted a PGA Tour event last October. They're hosting another one this year again. But they own that place. They own a place called Marcella in just outside of Salt Lake City, which is going to be a 36-hole King Collins design and a 36-hole Tiger Woods design.
Wow.
That one's a little bit. So Black Desert's kind of like a big resort. Marcella is like this ultra private club. It's 290 members for 36 holes and $1 million initiation fee. A little bit different than Sweetens. And then they have this place called Petalon Club. It's a private club in Virginia, kind of Fredericksburg, like on Lake Anna. And they have a private club kind of outside. I guess it's Telluride. I don't really exactly know. I'm pretty positive it's that. Right. It's called Cornerstone. It's another pretty exclusive private facility, but they partnered with us. They purchased those places, and they're going to be I think collectively adding more golf to everything. So they came to us in 2023 when they were kind of interviewing Rob Collins for Marcella, and wanted to see the golf course, see how it played, and see what the big deal was. And they were kind of looking at some other clubs too. And about 5 holes into it, he's like, "Do you guys have any more land?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you doing with it?" He's like, "Well, me and Matt," and this is Rob Collins saying this, owner architect. And he goes, "Well, me and Matt thinking about like par 3 or something like that, and maybe some lodging, but really don't know how to execute the lodging bit." And by about hole 7, Jared, who is the CEO of Reef, was like, had it all planned out and was like, "Let's go." So it was
Wow.
wild. Not even a full 9 holes in, and kind of masterminded it. And about a little bit over a year and a few months later, we made that announcement back in October of 24.
Wow. So you're going to add, what's it going to be? You're going to add another 9 holes or a short course?
Of course not. That is everybody's thing. You're going to add another 9 holes. It's going to be an 18-hole facility like a big boy place. But the answer is it will be 13 holes.
Okay.
Because why not? I mean, we're not going to just do another 9. We're going to have a giant Himalayas putting green. So if you're familiar with the place, we have a large Himalayas putting green right now. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty roided out. It's like a giant roller coaster. It's so much fun to putt on, but it's about 17,500 square feet. So not ginormous, but pretty darn big. That is the 3rd largest green on our property currently. We actually have a whole king out on the golf course that is 20,000 square feet, about 87 yards deep. Yeah. But collectively, those 10 greens that we have on our facility right now are 130,000 square feet of putting surface, which is roughly around 3.5 acres. So we're going to add a Himalayas putting green next to the restaurant distillery. And that is going to be roughly about the same size as all of our 10 greens currently. So it's going to be massive.
Wow.
It'll be the largest putting surface in the North American continent.
That's
Wow.
unbelievable.
Yeah. So, and then on the backside of that, so we didn't make it egregiously large. I convinced Rob, and a couple other guys had the idea too, but I had an idea that we should do a pitch and putt. So we're going to take 5 to 7 of our holes currently, our favorite 5 or 7 greens, and replicate them exactly, but like on a 1/10 of a scale, and have like these 20 to 40 yard shots. So you're
Cool.
playing a
Oh,
miniature golf
yeah.
course with like a wedge and a putter. You could putt it to the green, or you literally hit your wedge around it. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to have a restaurant, distillery, bottle shop where we have our own bourbon, and that's going to be infused in there. And then we're going to bring on some cabins, some singular ensuite cabins, like 420-ish square feet apiece, and just singular occupancy, so that you don't have to have your buddies farting and snoring in the middle of the
Yeah.
room with you, so you get your own space. And we'll probably have 12 of those pretty quick, and then we have plans for another 52. So,
That's
and
going to be.
then we threw something in the wrench there that we are going to throw a little skeet shooting involved in it. So, like, what goes better with golf and bourbon than shooting some guns?
Oh, yeah. The only thing
Right?
you're missing, which you probably have it accounted for somewhere, is do you have fishing?
Yeah, actually, we're gonna have a fishing dock
Wow.
too.
Nice.
Because
The
we do
trifecta, baby.
we do a fishing event every year called the Fish Camp Open. So like that's just kind of going off that preference, and we're gonna have that involved kind of out on the main course, because that's generally where we do all our fishing from.
Wow.
Super cool.
So if I'm getting this right in my brain, when your expansion opens, I'm going to be able to come to Sweetens, check in, have my own room, have food available, distillery available, unlimited golf, fishing, skeet.
Yep. And the only thing
That's
that
awesome.
I did not mention in that new expansion,
There's
the
more.
new golf. Yep. But wait, there's more. Everything's going to be lit and music infused.
Come on.
Really? No way.
So now these golf degenerates that come here every single day to play golf, you're going to be here till 12 o'clock at night playing golf, which I don't know if that's good or bad yet, but we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out the check-in and check-out times on these cabins. I mean,
yeah,
you might go till 2 a.m. and yeah, that's unbelievable.
We're gonna have to kick them out. We're gonna have to have
Yeah.
like a little SWAT team, like the Sweetens cleaning SWAT team, that just shoo you out.
Yeah, just pull the mattress right outside, leave it where it is, throw a new mattress in, and
start piping the death metal through the speakers.
That's right.
Get them going.
Time to leave.
Yep.
Wow, that's
a massive property.
That's phenomenal.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, all in total, we've got 148 acres, 150 acres. Yeah.
What was your first time on property like?
My first time on property was my interview, actually. I'd heard a lot about it in 2017. I had a couple members that had played it, and one of which was telling me about it when I was at Detroit Golf Club. And they're like, what do you think about a 9-hole golf course? It's got like nothing to it, no driving range, or like, would you be interested in something like that? I'm like, I don't know, what would we do? I don't know. And then I learned more about it and stuff. So I was at NCR Country Club. I was the director of golf at NCR Country Club in Dayton, Ohio. And the guy that had asked me about that became the GM. And then he was like, well, I'm going to leave, so it's yours if you want it. So I had to figure that out. And my wife and I came down in August to go see it. And we pulled in this cul-de-sac where the shed was at the time. It wasn't in its final resting place that it is currently right now, perched above everything up on the ivory tower in the hill. But, walked in there and it was running on a gas generator, and we were stealing Wi-Fi from our neighbors. So I was like, okay, but then all of a sudden you saw the golf course, and I was like, holy shit. My wife looked at me and she goes, we're moving to Tennessee, huh? I'm like, well, if I get this job, I think so. So went and did the interview afterwards, played some golf, and I think just had to vegetate on it because it was just something I've never done before. And in the golf business, we kind of get to go to a lot of places that you might not ever get to go to as a regular human being because we have members that have a lot more money than us in the private sector. So you get taken to all these places, and this kind of put everything into perspective for me. It's changed my life, the whole place.
So cool.
So it's just you got beautiful scenery. You're in this cove. You're surrounded by mountains. Um, You've got all these bunkers everywhere, just giant waste areas and native grass that's just, golden brown, and it's fantastic. It's hypnotic.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of your social media. I follow you guys. The drone footage that you guys do. I don't know if that's you steering the drone, but a lot of that stuff is it's awesome. I encourage a lot of people to go on and check it out if you've not seen it. It's really something else. What
Yeah, it's fun.
what's your timeline for the project? When do you think you're going to wrap it up?
So everything finished and complete 2029, but golf, restaurant, distillery, um, our timeline is October of 26.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we should have everything done. We should have 12 out of the cabins, 12 out of the 12 of the cabins of the totality that we're going to do done. There's a couple plans to do a couple other things like a large event cabin, maybe like 4 to 5 thousand square feet that could, if you rented out the golf course for a day, that's your home hub because the restaurant, distillery, bottle shop will be open to the general public every day. So
Hmm.
we won't ever shut that down. So we need a space to curate, food, collection, and et cetera. And then with this kind of reef partnership and stuff like that, we've got plans to build a house on property for a lot of the reef members so they can come in and play golf as they wish and have a nice little space. And if they don't want to rent the cabins, that'll be them for them specifically. But yeah, so those things are going to be later, and
Hmm.
what will be is 12 cabins, 8 around the putting green, as is now. Another 4 to 6. We might do a few more. We might do. You know, s- we might end up with 16 as much as, it just depends real
Yeah.
quick. But we also have, excuse me, a couple partners in play that are kind of our lodging as current. Um, the NLU guys, you're familiar with them, No Laying Up. They love us so much they ended up purchasing a house. They fell in love with the golf course. I mean, that's what they just did, and they ended up buying a house there, and that's kind of their first Airbnb for their collective and a lot of
Hmm.
their contingent that listens to the pods and participates in the YouTube and follows them, on telecast now with in conjunction with Omaha Productions and stuff like that on ESPN. So all these people come here because they get to stay in the house, at the NLU house and stuff. And then we have 2 tiny houses next to the putting green currently, and a place called the E9 Retreat, and that's all kind of housed under the E9 Retreat. The actual big house and the 2 tiny houses. My best friend and I from high school on those.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
we get
sweet.
those are going to be still part of the collection. So we're going
Yes.
to even have more. So you'll have the 12 plus what did I say, 16, 32, 52. So yeah, like 60 like 60 some odd rooms available on property that'll be ours, and then they'll take over the E9 and the tiny houses, and then we'll partner hopefully with NLU. We hope that partnership stays, and because they've been fantastic. So
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
incredible.
Man, oh man. So you've said it a few times. You've talked it. It's been highlighted. As a golf shop owner myself, this amazes me. So do you mind taking a minute and just telling us about this shed, man? I know it's world famous. You're probably tired of talking about it, but it amazes me every time I hear about it. So for these guys that may not have heard about it, do you mind walking us through the shed for a second?
It's a quick walkthrough. It's literally a shed you could buy at Home Depot. But we got it from the Amish because they're good
Yeah.
people. But it's got a little porch to it. There's 290 square feet to it. And that's it. I mean, it was always just a shed for almost shelter purposes. I mean, when Patrick Boyd was the original GM, he was the GM for 4+ years. And he would sit on that porch because that was the coolest and the warmest place to be because we didn't have air conditioning or heat. It was more of just to get out of the sun or get away from the wind chill for the day.
Yeah.
But it was that because when we first opened, it was a picnic table and a tailgate tent is how he checked people in. And then the tailgate tent blew away. So we didn't know what to do. So we ended up buying this shed from down the street. It was a whopping $3,500.
Yeah.
No electric or anything like that in it at the time. And we bought that, had it moved on property. And funny fact is, and it wasn't until like I think June or July of 2019. This was done in 15, so it took us a little over 4 years to pay off $3,500 at the time. So just to show you where we've come from. But
Yes.
the shed is it's packed full of stuff. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. We carry a ton of different brands. Nothing's the same in there twice. We carry every single head cover you can think of. We've got Holderness and Bourne and Grayson, and we've got Bedrati, and we have Johnny O. Johnny O is huge for us. We've got Task in there. We've got Zero Restriction. We've got Sportique, and then every hat company you can think of. I mean,
Sure.
from Imperial to American Needle to Hovey to Puka. I mean, you
Yeah.
name it. And then the like I said, head covers, towels, like rocks glasses. Why not? That's because it's a whole thing with some bourbon.
Heck yeah.
But you just find some different stuff in there. A lot of fishing gear sometimes randomly because we do a fishing tournament. I mean, we have
Yeah.
a lot of fun event stuff that gets sold there a lot. So we pack it full all the time. Every hanger is utilized, and there's a ton of them. Not as many as you would think there would be, but I mean, there's way more than there should be. How about
Yeah.
that? And it's just kind of wild. It goes pretty quick because we've got 42 logos.
42.
So yeah, I mean, all over the gamut. I mean, if you include the spirits company, it's actually more. But we
Wow.
do like a little national parks rip, and
Yeah.
we've done some stuff ripping off some famous shoes. And we have our original logo, which is our barrel logo. And when I got here, there was 6, so it's grown exponentially since then. But we've got uh, our little bourbon
No ice.
rocks glasses, no ice. We also have on ice too, which makes all the sense in the world. But
Yeah.
I mean, just a ton of different stuff, things that you would not normally think to find in a golf pro shop, which is fantastic. That's kind of what we are, is the anti-golf golf club in that respect. You can find all that stuff, plus a book that was written about us too, called The Secret Home of Golf. So it's
Wow.
wild, but 290 square feet, did roughly $3,895 and change per square foot in 2023.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of wild in that category. It's just it doesn't make any sense. I was on a pod the other day, and this guy broke down some square footages, like Costco's like 1,800 and Walmart's like 3,300, and Tiffany's company is $5,500 a square foot. So like it's kind of wild to say that we do what we do out of that shed. About 315-ish thousand dollars are done on online sales
Mm-hmm.
too as well. So we have an online presence in e-commerce that We've got some folks that have just crushed it in that category and take care of that, the shipping and receiving, and put it into the POS, and it's been great. So crazy thing is if we had more space, we'd probably sell more stuff.
Where did all your
Well, you need a second shed.
That's right. I do have actually shed number 2 in the parking lot. It's like a storage
nice.
shed.
Got it.
Where do where do logos originate from? Like, how are you guys getting 42 from 6, or is it from you?
Well, we had the first 6, like the original GM, and Rob Collins came up with a bunch. We have our Dunwoody tree logo, which is our massive tree that kind of overlooks the property. And then we had a bunker logo that we called the Jerry West bunker because, it's Jerry West to the NBA was the logo.
Yeah.
And we have all these things. We have the SC logo, which if you look close, it kind of looks, some people have said it looks like somebody pissed in the snow on that one. I think it looks nicer than that. I actually love that one. But if you look close enough, everything's got meaning to it, and that one's got some interlocking. They look like loops to the S that interlock with the C, but they're introverted 9s, so you can play the golf course multiple different ways. So it's got a lot of meaning to it. And then we have our kind of Sweetens 9 logo, which is a script logo with a little flag on the T and stuff like that, and that was it. Then everything else has been kind of my ideas of tournaments that we've run and stuff like that. And my family and I love to go all the national parks. So I started ripping off all these national park logos. Went into a national park up in, where was I? Shenandoah National Park in Virginia this past summer. And a ranger saw, not this hat, because this is like, the sign when you come into the national parks, you'll see something like this. But it was the actual shield. And we kind of dumbed down the Rocky Mountains to make our mountains, and we put our Dunwoody tree logo instead of the pine, and instead of the buffalo, we've got a beaver because we have a beaver issue on the golf course. But we did that, and I was wearing that hat specifically, and this guy goes, this park ranger looks at me, he's like, "Where'd you get that hat?" I'm like, "Oh, just a place." It's like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna get in trouble now finally."
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, what place? Where? He's like, "Where's Sweetens Cove National Park?" I'm like, "It's in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee." And then he goes, "I've never heard of it." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great." And I go, "It's actually a golf course." He goes, "Well, that's not what I thought you were going to say." So it's just fun stuff, but we came up with, instead of Smokey the Bear, we've got Barry the Beaver. And only you can prevent 4 putts, which is a real life thing at our golf course with our greens, because I didn't really, you kind of got it off the 130,000 square feet, which is massive. But they roughly average 12,500 square feet per green. So it's just it's wild. So we have a lot of fun. A lot of our stuff is storytelling, landscapes that we have. And, it's always inciting people to ask a question. It's like, "What's that T-shirt?" And then they got to talk about Sweetens Cove and why it's there. So it's free marketing and advertising for us, instead of seeing the same logo and be like, "Oh, that's Sweetens."
Yeah.
You might never have seen that logo before. So it's always inciting stories, and people were participating in that specific story when they bought it. So
That's great. That's a great idea.
Super cool.
Very nice. All right, boys, anything else for Matt?
I have so many questions, but I don't want to
Keep
take
the pod
too much
going.
of your time. But
it's all right. You can do whatever you want.
But I mean, it just the property. I just want to know, like, do you think that this was just hand sculpted by God to be a golf course? Is that what is the
It was originally a golf course. So 1951, it was Sequatchie Valley Golf and Country Club.
Okay.
So and Rob Collins got brought in by the Thomas family to redo 3 holes. That was it, because it had kind of changed hands and got back into the Thomas family, and they were steadfast in trying to keep golf. They kind of built some real estate up, and they were like, "We got to keep it. So we need 3 holes," because they had taken 2 holes out. And then the couple that they put back in just didn't really route well. So they're like, "Well, if we can just kind of scrape these ones out of here and build 3 new holes, we'll do it. And King Collins was hired to do that. And they built the 3 holes, and Bob Thomas was like, keep going. This is really cool. And then so he finished all 9, and they knew they had something really special. But Rob, if you ever talk to Rob would suggest it's the worst golf course he'd ever stepped foot on. I'll tell you, probably the the uh, uh, the ground that your feet are on right now, wherever you guys are right now, has more topography than the original golf course did. It was that flat and uninteresting, and it was like fairways into greens. There wasn't even push-up greens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was awful. But the locals loved it. They paid attention to it, and it was a golf course since 1951. And municipal, owned by the city for a little bit at one point in time too. But then they bought it back, and their whole intention was to make it private, and it was still going to be called Sequatchie Valley Golf and Country Club. So it was kind of crazy, and the original GM kind of did the research on that area, which is called the Sequatchie Valley. This whole area around this Chattanooga, Tennessee area is the Sequatchie Valley, but specifically in the 1800s of that cove, it was called Sweetens Cove. So we actually have some Swedish stuff that we actually sell, Swedish colors and stuff like that, because the original settlers in the 1800s were Swedish. So we fly a Swedish flag there, and kind of had a couple different iterations of the spelling, and then finally the locals started to spell it how they said it, and they started calling it, spelling it Sweetens Cove instead of Sweetens Cove. So
awesome.
it was always a golf course, but now it's pretty special, and I'm sure you guys saw some of the rankings on it. But it's number 7 9-hole golf course in the world. Number 2 in America, which I'd like to argue that the Dunes Club in Michigan, which is great. We have a lot more unique and diverse diversity to the golf course, and you can play it 10 times more. And that golf course specifically, if you're familiar with that, you can kind of play it reversible too. So, but this is even, I mean, reversible is a really drab word for us in that regards. But yeah.
Yeah, if you have greens that are 89 yards deep, there's a lot of versatility. I mean, you could probably go from tees to greens and mix stuff up. I mean,
oh yeah,
it'd be wild.
Yeah,
absolutely wild.
Yep.
Do you see this as like the future of golf?
I really think so. I mean, having versatility to your golf course, we have uniqueness. Unique by every definition in Webster's dictionary defines us, but this is a golf anomaly. I mean, it's very organic how it all happened and stuff like that. But now the way we curate it, we've always tried to do the right thing and kind of make it a better experience. And if we fuck up, we try to fix it and do something different, and we'll own it and keep going. But in the same sense, you're playing kind of on our turf, so this is how we operate it.
Sure.
And this is how you should enjoy it. And if you don't, some people won't enjoy it. Some people want that for some people want that time specifically to go. They want to play a whole 9 holes in circuit. But that's kind of just not us, which is fine. But I think this is going to be the more interesting thing in golf. And if other golf courses can take pieces of what we do and implement that, I think that it is the future. But it's never going to be a takeover for any sort of, realm of golf. I mean, you're still going to have the prim and proper, and you're going to have the country club. And what we do is excite the folks that we get that might have kind of wanted to quit golf and wanted to see a different experience, and they get here and they get super excited about golf again. It's kind of like a Disney World for golfers here, for adults. And you're there, and all of a sudden you just rode the rides, and you're like, that was unbelievable. I want to go play more golf. So you go home, you don't have Sweetens Cove next to you, and you go home and play more golf because it got your juices flowing again.
Awesome.
What's a quick day from start to finish? Like, I've heard some things, as when you get there, and some different stuff. So I want to know your take on what is it?
So it's The quick version is we tell everybody to show up around 8:30. 8:45, I kind of pop out of wherever I am, either in the shed or sometimes I just sit in my car and wait for people because they have no idea what the fuck's going on. And they're like trying to go in the pro shop, and so I'll walk up and somebody will be at the door. I'll be like, anybody in there yet? And they're like, no. What time do these guys get here? I'm like, I don't know. They're always late, and they have no idea. But like, what we're trying to do is break down the normality of what is golf, so you can, loosen your collar up and you can have fun for the day. Which generality, that pretense that is golf, is not found here. And it just you can kind of do whatever at that point. But at that point at 8:45, which I do to a T every time, sometimes it's 8:50. It's a little slow play because we are a shotgun start every day. I waste your life for about 25 minutes, tell you how to play the golf course, tell you what to expect, tell you that there might be a 8-some or a 12-some out there, depending on, who's here for the day. And then we finish with a shot of whiskey. I take your money and you go play golf till you don't want to be here anymore.
That sounds like a great day.
Love that.
Pretty good. And we have all these cool, like unique routings too that we have. We've got an Illuminati routing. So it's a black scorecard that if you want to write scores down, which we always encourage you not to, because score is an irrelevant thing there, but you have to use like a silver metallic marker to write on the black scorecard. And then and it's got a map to it. And then you got a 10-hole par 3 course that's got a map to it. And then you have a derby routing. So we have a few different routings that people can choose. So after they played the golf course in its entirety for the day, and it's 3:30 or 4:30 in the afternoon in the middle of the summer, now you have these other 3 options that you could really play. So I always suggest we say, hey, if you see golf balls going a little more sideways than normal at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it might not be the bourbon. They might be playing a secret routing.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can kind of do what you wish, and our biggest thing is just don't be a jerk. Everybody's trying to do the same thing and have fun and etc. But majority of people understand the assignment at that point in time. And those that don't probably jet out probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Which if that's the case on a weekend, if you have half the crowd sometimes like that, all of a sudden you got 25 people playing this super untrafficked golf course at that point in time until dark, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. I agree.
Word. Let's definitely plan a trip, boys. We gotta get down there. Are you kidding me?
Well, maybe we can get a little tip off of when the tee time's open so we could set our clock and maybe get in early to buy one of those passes in November next year. So
for sure.
You never know. I mean, I was your first guest. I mean, there's a pretty good opportunity. I can figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I like being first.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Love that.
Well, Matt, we really appreciate you coming on. This was awesome.
Sure.
How do they hit you up? Obviously, your Instagram. Anything else you want to pub out there for your contacts?
Yeah, Sweetens Cove website. So sweetenscovegolfclub.com. That's it. You can find us on X. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. Instagrams are kind of number one go-to. That's kind of where we were born and raised at, and X. But like I predominantly do a lot more on Instagram. So I do all the social media. I mean, you hit me up at 2 a.m. There's a pretty good chance I'm probably going to say something back to you. You never know what at that point in time. But you can get a hold of us. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us. And then generally after about 11 o'clock, you can call in the shed and somebody will answer. Don't call us before because we're taking up people's time and getting people on the golf course at that point in time. And in 290 square foot of shed, there's one person that's operating it, and he might be busy for a second.
He may not get to the phone right away.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, very great stuff. Really great stuff. If you've not seen or heard of Sweetens, definitely look it up on Instagram. You will not be disappointed. Matt, thanks. What's your time like? We're going to do a PGA preview, maybe do some picks. You interested in sticking around?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it. So PGA Championship this week, boys. Matt, PGA member. Tony, level 2. Andy,
Oh,
Matt, Andy was a PGA. He's now an amateur again. He's got his
Good for
amateur
you.
status back.
Finally, you're the first one to say it out of this group, buddy. I appreciate that.
That's
He's
right.
not a fan. So they are back to the newly renovated Quail Hollow. Par 71, 7,600 yards. I mean, defending champion Xander, he's coming to this course. 7,600 yard, par 71. Matt and I have played a little golf before. He knows what I'm going to shoot. Matt straight bombs it. So he would do fine at this track. They have the Green Mile, the last 3 holes. Get this, boys, after the renovation. Number 16, par 4 is 506. 17, par 3 is 223. And then 18, another par 4, just rounding it off at 494. So that is one heck of a stretch. And I'd like to just throw it out there before I open it up to the floor. We had some comments earlier in the year, Matt. We talked about the possibility of Rory doing the Grand Slam, and I said about how Quail Hollow is going to be wet this time of year. And that plays right into Rory's, wheelhouse. When he won down at Kiowa, it was soaked. So I was called all sorts of names. I was told it's the driest time of year. You clown. What are you talking about? And I'll have you know, they have super severe thunder showers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So not that I'm saying I know what I'm talking about, but
don't worry. They have
sub air.
Yeah.
They got sub-air greens. So, boys, do you guys know anything about the course? You got any comments about the course?
I
Anybody
know
get to play it?
Never played it.
I have not.
Never been out there.
Matt?
I have not played it.
Wow.
Have you?
Have you?
Now,
No.
I've had a lot of offers.
No,
I've
I've never.
offers. We currently, and we'll get into this in a second, but we have one of our members that's the senior assistant there
Oh, okay.
at the golf course who's actually playing it, and that's going to be low-key my PGA professional pick.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing about this shortly.
I may have to let you go first. That's insider info right there, bud.
Yes.
Well, let's do a little trivia about it, Matt. We always do a little trivia on these majors. The last winner when the PGA was held at Quail Hollow, this is a layup. Anybody? Anybody got that? Who won the PGA last time Quail Hollow hosted?
Justin Thomas?
Yeah, good work.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yep.
Justin. Who did Tiger Woods beat in a playoff to become the first back-to-back winner of the PGA? Another layup. You guys got this one?
Bob May.
Man, they're on it tonight, Matt. They are on it. You gotta get a little stump. I believe so, yes. And I think Bob May's mother was in the crowd, and they kept showing her during the whole thing. I felt terrible. She's like, my boy's got to play Tiger. This is call it off. She's throwing in the towel. Call it off. And then the last one for you. Who has the most PGA championships with 5? 2 gentlemen have this. 5 is the all-time record number of PGAs. TW has 4. Brooksy has 3. And these gentlemen played before we were all born. So just to give you a decade.
Byron.
No.
Snead?
No.
Hogan didn't win that.
Going way back.
Nicholas?
Yes, these guys are unbelievable, Matt. Like when you're talking about majors, victories, records, the 2 cats that have the most are TW and Nicholas. They should be your first guesses every time.
This first ever time. Was Gary Player one of them?
No.
He didn't get. He didn't win a
5. Who else has won? Who else has won those?
It goes way back when it was match play. It'll take a while. This is Walter Hagen.
Their name?
Walter Hagen. Yeah, Walter Hagen had 5. So that was who it was. Something unique about the PGA. I learned this when I was looking up. I'm a PGA member. I never really knew this, but after I read it, I was like, that kind of makes sense. But do you know it's the only major not to explicitly invite amateurs?
Oh yeah, it's
You know?
a full PGA or full pro
Yeah.
field, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. AMs can get in, but they got to win a major or they got to win a tour event that they got a sponsor exemption. But
Well, I guess I'm out.
yeah, that was.
You still got
Yeah,
a
you were
chance.
out,
What are you gonna do?
Duvall.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Well, until you win a
That's
major.
true.
Well, you
Yeah.
keep flip flopping. You got a pro event in a couple of weeks, and you're going to be an AM again. Not to blow you in, Matt, here, but this guy's all over the
It's
board.
unbelievable.
Just pick it.
Yeah.
In or out.
I got out.
In or
Well,
out,
he's-
baby.
I went out.
Well,
I got a name.
Well, Matt, he's got-
my name on
Back
every
in.
leaderboard now, so that's all that matters.
yes, and he's got an invitational in August. He's got to stay in amateur format. So once that happens, then who knows what
the
will
week
go
after that, I can go right back to pro. That's just how it
on.
works.
Yeah. Unreal. So, with that being said,
Yeah,
our little recap from last week before we get into our standings or into our picks. So last week we had our favorite. The winner for that was Andrew had Patrick Cantlay. He was the top finisher. Tony had Minwoo Lee, and I had Denny McCarthy. And Denny just imploded after a great opening round. Top 50, we had Andy and Tony tie. Andy had Cole, and Tony had Van Ryan or Van Roar. What's that guy's name? He was hot
Van
for a minute.
Rooyen.
Yeah, there
Van
you go.
Rooyen.
So you guys tied, but the final round tiebreaker was Van Royen -2. So Tony got the check mark there.
Hey.
Myrtle Beach won. I've never heard of this event. Second year they're doing it. Andy swept that one with Mackenzie Hughes. He took the favorite, the leading dog in the odds, and he hung on. He went wire to wire.
Guy lost in a playoff.
Who? Mackenzie
Yeah,
did?
him and Harry Higgs. Ryan Fox chipped in on 18 to beat him. It was a really good final round. The last like 4 or 5 holes was really good. So yeah,
Really?
it was a
Wow.
barn burner. 3 guys tied. It was nice.
That's
Yep.
great. I missed that one. I just figured Mackenzie held on. I just figured he took
he
it
was
deep.
the favorite, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And then our last thing we picked last week was spur of the moment. Tony wanted a score at the Philadelphia Cricket Club because they were talking about how hard it was going to be. Tony had -7, Andy -13, and I took the honors at -17 with that one as one off. So
Nailed it.
yeah, so our standings right now: Tony 4, me 7, Andy with 8 for the season.
Oh
So
my
Duvall.
God. Because they're
Duvall
running
is
away
up.
with it.
Let's start out with PGA Pro. Matt, you're our guest. Who is your low PGA professional for Quail Hollow? Who do you like?
Like I mentioned before, got to go with our guy, Mr. Preston Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I've heard of Preston.
Yep, he played at Valhalla. He fun fact about him, he didn't make the cut, but he played on Saturday at Valhalla because they had that rain delay. Remember that? Or it was like it was dark or something like that. So he actually
yeah.
got to play on Saturday on the weekend. Yeah, this is his home field. I think he's going to do pretty well.
Yeah,
Nice.
home
Tony.
field advantage is nice.
I'm going with somebody just down the road, Mr. Rupee Taylor. For no other reason, because that is an amazing name.
All right. All right.
It's like picking mascots. I like it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Duvall, who do you got?
I'm taking the winner of the PGA Club Pro Championship, Tyler Collette. He was at Red Stick down here in Vero, if I'm not mistaken. May still have ties there, but I think he has Challenge Tour status. Just been playing really good golf the last couple of years. He's winning a bunch of PGA stuff down here. He's winning some minor league events. He's winning some mini tour stuff. So, good player. Not sure he bombs it. Might be questionable with how wet it's going to be, but I like him as a pick.
Nice. All right. I was, as always, I'm between a few guys. Bob Sowards, he's playing in his 12th PGA, 56 years old. Andy and I ran into him at a Vegas Pro-Am. That was fun. That was one of the few times I have taken it deep lately. I think I shot, Duvall, 68 that day?
Yeah.
69. And Bob comes in with a smooth 62. So, Whatever, Bob. Thanks. Appreciate it.
There's Bob. Bob's Ohio.
Yeah,
He's Kinsale Golf Club, Golf and Fitness
That's
Club.
right. Yeah.
guy's a legend. Guy's an absolute legend.
Uh-huh.
A fun little tidbit. When I was in California, I actually interviewed at Kinsale when I was trying to get back east before I ultimately ended up in Virginia. I did not get the offer at Kinsale, obviously. Didn't work out. Who else do I got? Andre Chi. You know, that dude was a fundraising sensation.
Deepdale boy.
Yeah, Deepdale. Andy loves his Deepdale. But you know who I'm going to go with? I got to do it. How could I not live with myself if I don't do it? Rory, I just hit a ball. Did that go in?
You're going blocky.
Did I make the PGA again? Did it go in again? I'm in the field? Am I really in the field? I finished 5th. I'm in the field? Holy shit. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Give me some Michael Block. Why not?
Blocky? Yep. All right.
If nothing else, if nothing else, I raked his bunker up at Oak Hill. He's my boy. All right.
We'll have to work on your impression.
Great.
Yeah, that was pretty weak.
That
was bad. All right. World golf ranking 50 and above. Matt, who do you got? Anybody in the world that's ranked 50 or above?
Well, I think my guy would be just Justin Thomas, but I don't even know where he's at right now. But I'm going to go with Justin. He played pretty good last week. Had a good little showing, so I think he's peaking. He enjoys the PGA Championship. That's where I'm going to go.
Yeah, he's like, I think,
JT
8th in the world, maybe. Yeah, he's trending. He was up there for my picks. Yeah.
So that'd be your favorite. Perfect. All right. Tony, what do you got?
Are we doing favorites?
Yeah, let's do favorites.
We'll jump over to favorites. I do love the Justin Thomas pick. I think he's playing really well right now. Winner around this golf course, as we mentioned. So, but I'm liking Bryson here, man. It's just a bomber's paradise. It's a big ballpark. You can't argue with 320 carry. Guy's a great putter. You know, it's major championship golf to a T right there. So don't love it, but I'm playing the money game here. I need a win. So give me the big boy.
All right, Duval.
Well, I now have to shuffle down the list. So
you pick
two for two here. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with Scotty. Screw it. I'm going with Scotty. That's all I gotta say.
Can't go wrong there.
I mean, how can you go wrong?
Number one's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get heat. I'll get heat. Don't worry.
This guy is the scratchiest scratch picker of scratch picks.
I'll just take the best and then I just roll with it. I mean, that's how it works. So.
Right.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, for my pick, Matt, I've had this up for a while. Love some Rory from the Masters. I had him, to win the Grand Slam. But you know what? It's one of those nights.
Oh, shit.
Give me Colin Morikawa.
All right.
Going off of the Rory train, boys. See ya, Rory.
Off the top rope.
Wow.
So I had another one, but you guys took it.
So you don't think he's going to win the Grand Slam?
No, not
perfect.
I should have went first. I actually think Bryson's going to win this week, and I think it's going to start a new Jack and Arnie rivalry between Rory and Bryson. I think you're going to have good guy, bad guy. I think you're going to have a lot of theater.
Wait, who's the bad guy?
Whoever you want it to be. I think it would be Bryson, but I think it'd be Bryson. Everybody loves Rory right now.
Golf does need this.
I was, we were getting to the live pick, but that I'm a big Bryson fan.
Yeah.
So I me and my son were just watching all the YouTube stuff just a second ago. There's like the hundredth freaking video I've watched with Bryson, but I think he's absolutely fantastic for the game in that category.
Agreed.
And he's an odd duck. He was at the beginning, and I think going to live it's given him this different avenue of growing the game of golf. And I mean, I watched. I don't know if you guys follow that too much, but I watched him play with 4 random juniors, and they
Yeah.
played a scramble against him, and that was so much fun. Like, I mean, Rory's not doing that stuff. Like,
Sure.
he'll go do
No.
it for a first tee gesture or somewhere where he has to be. But this guy's just creating content in that category, and I think that's what it's about.
Did you?
But we are
Absolutely.
kind of the black sheep of golf as Sweetens goes too. So it's a whole thing.
Kindred
Yeah.
spirits, eh?
Did you
Yep.
see his
Fact.
Masters
like
his
that.
Masters footage that he put down? He had somebody follow him around for the whole entire week at the Masters. It was
Yeah.
incredible. Not many. There's no other guy doing that out there. Like no other guy.
No.
So yeah, I love his content on YouTube. It's great.
Well, and I'll say this, and I know everybody's focused in the moment, but I think my 2 cents on it for what it is, whatever that means, is like when you watched, he wasn't playing well, and he, for all intents and purposes, could have just been a shitbag. But every time he walked through a crowd, he's high-fiving people, and it
Yeah.
was fun to watch. And Rory's sitting there laser focused, but you call it Tiger-esque, but that era is done. So what's the next era of golf? And I just don't think that Rory's doing it for me in that category. And I'd rather root for somebody that's really positive and has a positive attitude the whole entire time. And yeah, he had a ton weighing on his shoulders on in that Masters, but Bryson, what do you shoot? 70? What do you? I don't know,
75, I think.
74 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there still enjoying the moment, taking care of the people, the only reason why they're there in that first place. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was that's fun to watch.
You can come on the pod anytime you want because I got heat for all the Rory hate that I was throwing out there. So I mean,
Yeah.
feel free, buddy.
Hey, Rory, I'm just saying that it's just not the guy. It's like I'm happy that he got his Grand Slam.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't say
Me
that,
too.
but it was gonna happen eventually. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's a hell of a golfer. But you want to grow the game of golf, grow the game of golf.
Great
sure.
golfer. Great golfer. Respect him fully.
Yep.
Outside
Fantastic.
of that,
All the
outside of
accolades.
that, that's all I got.
Nice.
I got nothing.
That's
I got
all you
nothing.
got.
So,
All right. Why don't we do live picks? Who's going to be your top live? So, Tony, I'm assuming you're just doubling down with Bryson.
No.
You're actually going to take 2 people.
good for
this
you.
week.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, Tony.
I know. I'm spreading
Yeah.
the wealth. I'm
All
going
right.
with the bulldozer, my boy Brooksy.
Oh, jeez.
You already know.
Brooks
He's
at the
due.
PGA.
He's due. He loves the PGA, and he had a really bad showing at the Masters. So I think you won't catch him 2 majors in a row, not around the leaderboard, in my opinion. So we'll see.
Yeah. Matt, what do you like? Live player. I mean, you love
I
Bryson.
will. There we are. That's my Bryson pick. So, yeah.
I like it. Arnie would be proud of the way he's carrying himself, for sure.
I agree with that.
Duval, what do you got? Live.
Uh,
Love me some live.
I'm taking Paulina.
Special
Paulina.
invite.
Taking Paulina.
Gretzky.
Dustin
fair.
Johnson all day.
Oh, my.
I'm just hoping he's up on top of the
Great.
leaderboard, so Paulina's putting out a lot of content. That's all I care about at this point.
All right. Well, my live guy, I always love me some Patty Reed for this type of stuff. He always steps up in the majors, Rom. But I'm going to go with the guy who's just been lighting it up on live in the majors, bunch of top finishes. Mr. Neiman. Joaquin Neiman. There's nice. All right. Then we got one last one, Matt. This is like a long shot. Somebody that's deep in the field, not like a PGA professional, but somebody that's like out of the top 50, 60, 100 ranking in the world. So, do you got anybody in mind? You want me to hit the boys first?
Yeah, get the
Like
boys first. I don't even actually
Tony.
know who is deep.
I know that's hard.
I'm going with a gut pick here. A major stud. Doesn't hit it a long way, but he's just a solid. Takes one side of the golf course out of play. Mr. Alex Noren. Just
does he even play any golf anymore?
What do you mean?
Alex Noren.
Don't make me do a player pretender on Alex Noren on you.
You might have been able to. I don't even.
He is deep. He is deep. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's. Yeah. But he shows up for majors. You know, he does. So I like him. I need a win here for this. Get back in the W column. I'm like 4 back.
You better hope he finishes this week. You better hope he gets through 36 holes.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Has he been hurt? Never mind.
Yeah. Who do you got, Andy?
I am gonna go with my boy. I got to make sure that he's out there enough. Oh God, I thought he was in the field. He's not even in the field. Oh my gosh.
Well, he's definitely a long shot.
Not in the field. Oh, he's first alternate. Unbelievable. God damn it. Smalley was going to be.
You need time.
Pick. Yeah, I didn't realize he was first alternate.
All right. I'll go ahead and go. Top 50. I'm going to take a little advantage of a loophole because these boys, they don't get world ranking points anymore, but they are some of the best players in the world. So over 50 in ranking, I'm going to go with John Rahm.
You're really looking to get back up on top of the board, aren't you?
Absolutely. Rahm is like 65th in the world. Hey, he's over the top 50.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Matt, you got one?
I'm vegetating. The answer is I think I saw him in the lineup here, but I literally looked up to see if he was here because he would be my dark horse. You never know. But he's also one of our people. He's part of our bourbon company, Mr. Kashmir Keith.
That's a good.
He's on my list.
Yeah, so he would probably kill me if I didn't. I've had some dark nights with Mr. Mitchell, and I always it's a good thing. It's very positive. Once a year we have our little Sweetens Cove session together, but he's the best, and he's just not finished. I mean, he played good last week, and then he not great. And I generally will send him photos of him missing a 20-footer by 10 feet short and be like, hey, if you're going to represent the bourbon company and be part of Sweetens Cove, I'm going to need you to play better. He's a Chattanooga boy, too, local Chattanooga boy, born and raised. So I got to go with Keith Mitchell.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, he's been a pick on this program a couple times this year. Actually, there was a question. Maybe you know this. We talked about it at one point. His one golf polo had 7 buttons.
Oh yeah, that 100%. I ripped him
that was
apart
an aggressive. That was an aggressive look, man. I was like, was it a sweater? Was it a sweater vest? Like, I know he's pretty fashion forward, but I mean,
like, he's very fashion forward.
Polo? 7 buttons.
Hard visor guy. I've got him. I got a picture of him. I'll send it to you after the pod of him just like literally stretching in the shed. There's not much room in the shed, and he's just sitting there stretching out in the shed, like, But he's one of a kind. He's fantastic. He won some state championships back in the day in Chattanooga at Baylor High School. That coach is who founded Rob Collins to be at. To do that design. His name was King Ahmed, and they won like 21 state championships. Luke List, Harris English. I mean, you name it. It's like wild, but got to go with Kashmir Keith.
That's a good pick. He played well last week. Yeah. Putter just kind of went south on him on the last round. But what are you gonna do?
Well, and the time before, what was it, a couple of tournaments ago, he bent his other
that what-
putter, or might have gotten a little
Might have.
rumble with his putter. No one knows.
Who knows?
Got to get him a lab. Fix him up.
All right. I'm going with my
Duvall, you got.
I'm going with my boy Eric Cole.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
There's got to be a limit how many weeks you could pick a guy.
does there?
That's cool. No, I mean it's good. I picked Gerard how many weeks in
Yeah.
a row, so yeah, that's.
I mean, I'll go 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. That's not terrible.
Can I put an asterisk in there? Like if Smalley gets in, I can take Smalley or what? Like what are we doing here? No, I'll take Cole.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'll take Cole. It's good.
You'll
Yeah,
take
it's
Cole. All right. All right, nice. Well, should be a great PGA this week. We hope the weather doesn't interrupt it too bad where these guys can get in. It's a huge field. It's like 152 players. So we'll see how they make out. Matt, you got time for player or pretender?
Sure. I'm in.
Tony, let's go. Let it rip.
Player or pretender?
Oh, here we go, boys. Got a fun one for you today. A little Quail Hollow,
Themed?
I guess themed, if you will. So just to remind everybody and to let Matt know, we're playing a little golf version of Two Truths and a Lie. I'm going to give you 3 golfers, 2 of which are real, 1 I have made up, and you have to guess the pretender. All right, here we go. So golfer number 1 is Jerry McGee. McGee was born in New Lexington, Ohio, attended Ohio State University, member of the golf team. McGee won 4 PGA Tour events in the latter half of the 1970s. In 1979, he won twice, a one-shot win over Jerry Pate at the Kemper Open, which was at Quail Hollow. And a couple months later, a one-stroke win over Jack Renner at the Sammy Davis Jr. Greater Hartford Open. His best finish in a major was T5 at the 1972 Masters Tournament. Okay, golfer number 1, Jerry McGee. All right, golfer number 2, Jimmy Taylor. Taylor was born in Conway, South Carolina, played collegiate golf at the University of South Carolina. Taylor captured 3 PGA Tour titles between 1974 and 1988. His first win came in a dramatic playoff over Mark Hayes and Andy North at the 1978 Kemper Open. And his best performance in a major came at the 1987 PGA Championship, where he finished T6 at PGA National. That was golfer number 2, Mr. Jimmy Taylor. And finally, golfer number 3, we have Dale Douglas. Douglas grew up in Fort Morgan, Colorado, graduated from University of Colorado in 1959, turned pro in 1960, joined the tour in 63, played on the 69 Ryder Cup team, won 3 times in 25 years on tour, including the 1969 Kemper Open, where he beat Charles Coody by 4 strokes. And Douglas's best finish in a major was T13 at the 1969 U.S. Open.
So, Matt, I just want to throw this out here before we start guessing.
Yeah.
We've got him the last 2 weeks, and this could be just payback. So we apologize up front for the ridiculousness that's going on here.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure it was going to be like Chris Kim, Adam Kim, and Steve Kim for all on the Asian tour or something, because we've been burning them the last couple of weeks. So this is close to it.
I
Tony.
thought
mean,
Jim Taylor was a
we're
football
reaching.
player.
Yeah,
Is he not?
I don't know, Matt. Any thoughts on any of these guys, Matt? They're pretty ridiculous.
No, I mean they all sound ridiculous, but obviously we've got somebody, we've got a couple that are in there. I'm just gonna just get a complete guess. I'm gonna go with 1 and 3.
Yeah, that are legit.
I think so.
Yeah, that's where I'm.
Is-
I mean, the Taylor seems a little made up on number 2.
But is Jim Taylor not a football player? Who is the Taylor? No, that was the other. Never mind. Was I thinking Lawrence Taylor and I just whiffed that? He was like a
Probably.
Yeah.
He's
You
definitely
might
a
be-
football player.
You might be combining Jim Brown and Lawrence
There you
Taylor
go,
together.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm willing to go Taylor as fake.
Yeah, I'll do the same. What do you got, Tony?
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. Jimmy Taylor is the pretender.
There we
Well done, boys.
That's 3 in a row, baby.
They're on fire.
Impressive work,
It's unbelievable.
They're on fire.
Impressive work. I like how you built in the excuse just in case you didn't get it too. That was nice.
Man, I just
That's a
NFL
pro
I'm
veteran
getting
move.
confused.
Love that.
So much confusion. That was all confusing. Well
Okay.
done.
So the Kemper Open, it was the original tour site for Quail Hollow, like the tour stop.
Really?
I like how you threw that in there, but yeah.
The Kemper Open, yeah. So wait, get this though. This is pretty interesting. I in my research here, in 1992, they invited Super Bowl MVP Mark Rypien as a sponsor's
Ripken.
invite. What's his name?
I
Ripken.
think that's Cal.
Ripken? Mark Ripken? No. Yeah, that's a baseball player. Mark Rypien was quarterback for the Redskins in the 90s.
Yeah, it's Ripken.
No.
His name's Ripken? There's no K in this name. R-Y-P-I-N.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is fantastic.
Well, there's Jimmy Taylor's back in it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there he
Let's
is.
ask,
He just
let's
showed
ask
up.
going,
Jim
Tony.
Taylor.
Oh,
Let's
keep
ask Jim
going.
Taylor
All
if
right,
it's
whatever.
Rypien or Ripken. Can we get him on the horn?
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there's a misprint then. I'm telling you. Anyways, this guy got a sponsor's invite, shoots 81-90, misses the cut by 24 strokes.
Oh, jeez.
Man,
That's bad.
taking a spot from a guy that could have probably made the cut. That pisses me off.
You're an
Easy.
am.
I know. It's
Yeah,
just
why would it piss you
just
off?
just from back in the day. Just
Jesus. Yeah.
Cold habits die
Unbelievable.
hard.
Well, speaking
Well
of
done,
playing,
boys.
Andy, what happened to your U.S. Open qualifier today, man? You did not finish a DNF. Walk us through it. What happened?
it's real quick. We
yeah.
we teed off at 10 after 9. We
Yep.
played 2 holes and we hit our tee balls on 3 and we saw the rain coming. We hit our second shots into the green, and which I hit a great 8 iron in there from 125 to about 2.5 feet.
Says Jimmy
And-
Taylor.
That's a
I
golf
had,
shot
I,
there,
had, I had a
Jimmy.
great golf shot, raining, downpouring into the wind, 8 iron, 2 feet. By the time we walked up to the green, the kid was getting ready to hit it from like 30 yards short of the green. The entire golf course, like the whole green was just flooded. It was dumping so hard. So we went on to a 3.5 hour, little over 3.5 hour rain delay. And it was raining all day. There was thunderstorms and stuff coming in. I was in between. I had my wife and my daughter with me, and we were checking out at 1 o'clock. I figured that I was going to be done teeing off at 8:54, be done around 2 max. I just kind of made the executive decision that I didn't want them to sit around Orlando for 5.5 hours with nowhere to go, and tried to look for the bright line to be able to make it home. Couldn't get one until close to 9 o'clock. I wasn't going to make the pot if that was the case. And like I said, I'm an AM. It is what it is. So I made the executive decision and just I WD'd. They ended up playing. They ended up getting it in. I think, our group finished around 5:45-ish. 3 under got in. And yeah, that was my day. I hit 3 fairways and 3 greens. I was perfect on the day, and then I just kind of I said, "See you later."
Walked
I
away.
said, "See you later." So
Hey, you got your priorities
You
in
know.
order, sir.
Get the cap.
it's
Yes.
I got another one next week. I got the Florida State AM qualifier next week. It'll be my first AM event I've ever played it, or I played in a long time. So that's always good.
Wow.
Yep. And I'll be by myself, so I'll finish next week. Well, please, knock
God
on
willing.
wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So, all right, boys, let's hear your day. You guys finished, played a couple more holes than I did. So,
Oh yeah.
I don't even know where you even start with this. Pro Stableford, better ball.
what'd you guys shoot?
Plus 11
What'd you
one.
guys shoot?
Plus 11 1.
It's a Stableford.
Stableford.
Yeah. Of course.
So, and the course we played, they just tucked all the pins, man. They're on the greens are crazy. They had them all. Like we had a 480 par 4, and they stuck the pin front left 2.5 paces on. So that gives you an idea of how they set up the course for us. I actually had a 23-footer down the hill and I missed it, but yeah, that's just
What?
for as much as I played. It's the second round of the year.
What'd you hit into that green?
Yes.
What'd you hit into that green?
Arcos had me with a 5-iron, and I hit it.
Is that true?
I had 1.8.
Is that a glitch?
I went 186 is my yardage I had in, and I hit 5-iron to like 23 feet is what Arcos said. And then I promptly 3-putted because I wanted to make the birdie. I tried to jam it in.
You hit it.
And
You hit it 3 bills? Did you get one? God damn.
My longest drive of the day, I believe it was on that
God
hole,
damn.
was 279. Matt laughs. He's like, that's my 2-iron. That's like my 2-iron. The longest. So this Arcos has been humbling, Matt, to say the least. Yeah, so my longest drive of the day was 279. That was up from last week, Matt. It was 260, boys, 258, something like that. So
Yeah.
You're getting up there now in age.
picked up 20 yards in a week.
There you go.
Was it?
No, Tony and I finished tied for 21st, and there was 23 teams in the field.
Don't spit out your bird. Don't spit your bird.
That was close.
Sorry, Matt. So we beat one team, which was good. But
Fair.
really on the back nine, we made the turn at -4, which Stableford is not good. And on the back nine, I know my approach. I don't know what Tony's was, but I told him over and over that I'm basically shooting for skins. And every green that I was on, I just ran it to try to dunk it. So I was 3-putting a lot on the back nine. I hit 4 fairways. I hit 10 greens, boys. Hit 10 greens. I had a 205 4-iron. I hit the 12 feet. Promptly left it short, right in the heart. That was fun.
I thought you were running everything. I thought you were hitting everything hard.
No, just approach shots. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to hole out everything, is what he said. Not on the green.
Not on the
bad.
greens.
I heard that. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin where Mike went bye-bye, because I was running him by aggressively, and I had a 12-footer, and I was like, I'm just going to stroke it.
Yeah, you
work.
did.
It did not. It did
Nice
not
stroke.
work.
It's a great 4-iron.
Yeah, it was a great 4-iron, and there was nobody made 2 on that hole either, Tony. So that made me feel even better. It was there for me.
I think you made 2 on that last year.
I did the same shot. I think it was the same club, same shot. I think they had the pins in about the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just didn't hit it. Tony, you got any thoughts on our round other than very devastating, discouraging?
I feel like there's good golf on the horizon for both of us.
I love that.
There
That
were moments-
half full glass, Tony.
Yeah.
I love that.
There were moments of brilliance that I'm telling you, Mike hit a couple shots that were just absolute peaches. Like these high fades into these par 3s were just really, really, really beautiful. Honest to God. And yeah, I think, it's early still. I'm figuring it out, making some big changes, so I think we're close. There were some nice shots I had, too. I just couldn't putt today. My putter was like ridiculously just all over the place, leaving them short, blowing them by, not reading the greens. Yeah, it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
But I would say that's not normal for me. So I don't know. I just maybe got in my head. So that I'm taking with a grain of salt. But if I can keep it on the planet with the T-ball, boys, we can play some golf.
Yeah, Tony put it out there today. He was the longest player in our group a few times. We played with I would say, comfortably the number one player in our section
Yep.
today, who bombs it. He did a lot of working out over the winter, super flexible, and he got it going. So, yeah, it was fun to watch. But yeah, so we'll tidy that up. No use to beat a dead horse with this. We just, you're tied for 21st. What do you got to say?
Tony,
if it could have, should have, would
Tony,
have.
how's your
If it could have,
More to
should have,
how's
would
your
have.
trunk
More to
slamming?
come.
How's your trunk slamming technique coming?
It's gotten a lot of practice.
I hear you. There's an art to it. After a while,
I'm pretty good at this too. This motion. Nice.
It's all on the
Mick
wrist.
Ultra.
The trunk slam is all on the wrist.
Thanks for the sponsor.
Shit. All right, boys. Let's wrap this up with a little fact check. Do you boys have anything from last week before I start?
Oh Lord.
I don't.
No, we were pretty clean, really. And we only have a couple. So Matt, this is where we get our comments and we sit here and hem-ha. Nobody looks anything up. We just shoot from the hip, and a lot of times we're wrong, right? So we get a lot of fan feedback about where we were wrong. It's human nature. People love to tell you when you're wrong. So it's a good thing, though. Yeah, it's a great thing.
I run social media, and I hear it all the time.
Yeah, so it's beautiful. So one thing we were debating about is how much Scotty wanted to buy our Nelson. 1.7 million, boys. We were up like 2 million, 2.5. We were like, he took down 10 million, but yeah, it was 1.7.
Oh yeah, it was one of the schlep events on the tour stop. I forgot.
Yeah. Matt, I don't know if you know anything about Rochester, New York. We were talking about hot dogs, and in Rochester they have white and red. All right, so we were a little confused. Last week our event was at a course, and I went and asked for a hot dog, and they're like white or red, and I'm like normal. They're like, we don't have that. So we had to look it up. So
is this color of the hot dog?
Yeah,
it is.
What's on it?
No, color.
It is. So you ready for this?
This is like pork and a beef? I mean, what is it?
Zweigels started this in Rochester in 1925. They refer to them as hots. So you got a white hot dog is made with pork, beef, and veal, and that gives it a pasty color, which is white. And then you have a red hot, which is made out of pork or beef or both, no veal, and they dye it red, so you know the difference. I do not know why they would dye it red, other than the white hot was considered lesser quality than the red hot. So back in the red
dye is going away.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do.
So what are they going to do now?
Now that I know that there's veal in there, I might give it a try.
Yeah, really? So I'm staying away.
Good.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I grew up in Michigan, so like we had American and National, and it was like the same shit, but it's just two different spots.
Yeah,
so that's all I know.
Yeah, so that was the Rochester Hots, as they call them. Byron Nelson, we had a stat, Matt, where Matt in 1945, Byron won 18 tournaments and he won $63,000. And
amazing.
Is there anything close?
I was looking up. So I was looking up how much money that would be in today's terms, and I found $2 million. But what I found, where this all started, was that article was from 1985. So, so I was a little off. So I only could find
1985.
Yeah, so I could only find, boys, there wasn't a lot on it. People just estimate 21 to 30 million. That's where it's at. That's where we're going to leave it. So we're going to pronounce
interesting stat on Byron is I think he was our last match play PGA Championship winner. Is that true or false? You guys know that?
We'll have to.
I think he was.
Tune in next week
Fact
for
check.
that
How
fact
about
check.
that?
That's right.
There's
I'm
a
pretty
fact
sure
check.
you're right. I'm pretty sure
Great
you're
team.
right.
At Moraine Country Club in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
Nice.
Love it.
There you are.
How can that be
That's
wrong?
a deep
How
hole
can that
right
be
there.
wrong?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
we're going with
chance.
I hope it's not
No
because
chance.
I feel pretty solid about it right now.
It was said with confidence. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
home run.
I like that.
My last thing I have, boys. Sepp Straka won this week, right?
He did.
There was
Yeah.
a phenomenal win coming down the stretch. Do you boys know that his regular caddy was not able to caddy? He hurt his back.
Don't worry. He
And,
got some steroids.
Yeah, so Straka just called his buddy that he plays golf with back at Greystone, and Bama's like, "Hey, you want to come caddy for me?" And he took down the tournament.
And he
So once again, they don't
his
matter.
caddy plays
He must
for
be a
living.
good caddy.
His caddy plays for a living.
Yeah, he's on the mini tour events. He's I think he's 26 years
I'm
old.
sure
Really good player.
I'm sure that's going to help the funding situation. He'll
Drew Mathers.
be able to play next year.
Well, they were saying if it's a normal arrangement, we don't know what the arrangement was with him, but if it's a normal arrangement, 10%, he got 360K for looping the bag.
360 plus.
No.
Yeah.
Worst job ever, boys. Worst job
It's
ever.
like the lottery.
Yes.
It's like the lottery. I mean, you got to get somebody that's going to win, and there's 15 bags on a tour that's going to happen. That's going to happen in a year. 20 bags in a year.
I don't know. There's 30 plus events, isn't it?
Caddy
Yeah.
get for
Scotty
10th place? I
won
bet
8
he's
last
doing
year.
fine.
So what? There's 20. There's 22 other events that somebody's going to win.
I would love to see the money list for caddies. That would be amazing.
Your boy Ted Scott.
I'm sure I'd like
your
that.
boy's Ted Scott.
You think that exists?
No,
I would like that ask. That'd be fun.
That would be amazing.
I think it all has.
We could find
It
that.
would have to come down. Well, you could figure it out. You could easily figure it out, but
Yeah,
the difference is you don't know
butt.
what the contracts are.
No,
Right.
you don't.
Right.
But you could just go
You could
straight
do a
off of
blanket,
10%,
10%.
7.5 or 10.53.
So like last year, Scotty Scheffler won 29
Thanks
million.
for volunteering.
So 10% of 29 million. Thanks for coming, right?
Yeah, plus.
We don't hate
Two-
that.
That'll do.
2.9 plus. So I mean, whatever.
Plus
It is. I mean, he's getting 2.9 plus whatever his weekly fee is plus.
What's gratuity?
I mean, plus sponsors.
What's the yearly bonus for Ted Scott? What's the
I'm
Christmas
sure
bonus?
it's pretty big after. Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty big.
You know he loves his Christmas too, I'm sure.
I think he gets a cookie tin from Tennessee, from Nashville. One of those cookie tins.
Yeah, probably.
Plastic.
All right,
Fruit
boys.
cake.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
I think we're good,
We're
man.
good. All right, Matt. Once again,
Awesome.
thanks for coming
Yes.
in. Thanks for
Thank
sticking
you.
out
Yeah.
the whole pod. Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right,
Appreciate
gents.
you
Till
guys.
next week.
Yes.
Cheers.
I try, but even on my best days